We've gone through some classic survival horror games, so why not talk about what many consider to be the granddaddy of them all, Clocktower. While not specifically a survival horror game, it definitely is what inspired all of the classics that we love. And without it, horror games would not have been the same. But this is actually a point-and-click adventure game. The only difference between this and others of the same genre is that it focuses more on being chased and exploring a large labyrinth-like mansion. Sound familiar? Well anyways, in Clocktower you play as Jennifer Simpson, an orphan girl who, along with 3 other orphans, gets adopted by Simon Barrows. Soon after their arrival, Jennifer finds herself alone and eventually finds one of the others murdered. This is the Scissor Man, the main antagonist of the game that will stalk Jennifer and attempt to kill her if he gets too close. So Jennifer has to find her remaining friends and escape the mansion alive. Oh, and the mansion has a clock tower attached to it, so that's why it's called Clocktower. For a Super Nintendo game, this has got to be one of the most atmospheric games on the console. Of course, I'm playing the PS1 version, but there are barely any differences in the 2 versions. There's rarely any music and all you hear is Jennifer walking, pretty innovative stuff for the time. The point-and-clicky nature of the game is fine, pretty cryptic though. If you do want to play this game, I'd recommend a guide to getting one of the 9 different endings. Otherwise, you'll be running back and forth the way I did. I will say, the encounters with the Scissor Man aren't as nerve-wracking as you'd expect them to be. I mean, he can appear anywhere, but getting away or hiding isn't too bad if you know what you're doing. But there are other ways of dying, like just burb. There is actually a lot to discover in the game. Different story paths, secret scenes, unique encounters. It's a really short game, but there's a lot to see in it. It was never released in the West, so emulate it however you prefer. SNES, PS1, Wonder Swan, whichever you prefer. And maybe try the sequels out? I heard 2 is fine and Ghosthead is a pile of garbage. And 3? Well, one day I'll talk about 3, because that game is its own beast. But the original Clocktower is definitely one of the most unique horror games I've played, even if the villain looks like that.